Hello, everyone. Welcome to PCE Final Frontier podcast. I am Shivangi, your PCE guide at PCE Final Frontier, helping one student at a time. Visit our website www.pceff.com to enroll in our courses today. Welcome to PCE Final Frontier podcast. We are going to talk to Mr. Anil Kumar today, and he will be sharing his tips, his strategies, his plan that helped him clear the PCE recently. So welcome to the podcast, Anil. Congratulations
Thank you very
on
much.
passing the PCE. How do you feel?
I feel amazing right now. It's lots of relief. First and all, it was a big step for me. Just because after coming to different country and you are having a goal. So this was where I was stuck. Kind of like like I was working. It was not kind of stuck, but this was a main kind of step for me. And right now I'm feeling like really good, like lots of pressure relieved, and now I'm doing what I wanted to do. So that's the best feeling. So I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, it's a nice
Good.
feeling.
Good. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know like you cleared when did you move to Canada and everything? Like
Uh,
how did you start preparing for PCE?
yes, I have moved to Canada in 2019. Like I have an year of experience working back home. So I completed my bachelor's in 2017, and kind of I thought, okay, I'm gonna move to a different country. That was my plan before I started this program. And I moved to Canada in 2019 and took a program for 2 years that was healthcare administration course. It was helpful in some ways to get into Canadian environment, like work environment, but it was good experience. But I never wanted to work in like administrative stuff, like official, because I wanted to be a physio all the time. So after completing my 2 year diploma course here, uh, I choose like to work as a PTA, and I was working in a long-term care home for last 3.5 years. I started my journey in 2020 of PTA, and that was really good. Like I have learned a lots of things, like especially knowing the people who I'm gonna work with, because coming from Indian environment, when you are working in Canadian culture, you have to learn about the people whom you're gonna work with. So that was really good experience of working in a long-term care home, and it was mostly geriatric population, and it was good. Like first, the most important thing was like knowing people, and apart from that, after this, I have started like preparing for my Canadian exam. Like I'm gonna let me see. And I went for my credentials in 2020. I started with my credentials and I joined PCE Final Frontier in 2021, and I had started preparing for that, but I was not that consistent like how I would have been. But I was just waiting for my credentials to be done, and then I'm gonna start. So when I started really preparing for my exam was like 2023, starting of
Oh, wow.
2023. I was like, yes. So uh, I think I didn't met anybody. So somebody, I think I should have joined PC Final Frontier before, so that I would have started before. But still, I don't mind it because I have learned a lots of things.
Of
Because
course.
everybody has their own journey, right? So sometimes we think, but God has different plans for us. So I was just going through that things, and then I met Feza. Feza, like last year, I joined for my mentorship. I was going for my first attempt in July. But when I joined Feza, I was a little like when her teaching style is a little different, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what we need, I guess. That's what I realized when I joined mentorship program. Like what we need for this exam, you have some things which are like which should be on your tongue all the time. And that's what I have learned from Feza. And I decided to give my exam in November last year, and I went for my first attempt, but I didn't make it. I got 580 in my first attempt, and you know how it is. It was very difficult time,
Yeah.
but that was my first time, and I think it took me a while to get back through all that thing, because
Of course.
just starting first time is a little difficult when you are starting for first time, and then
Yeah.
and another thing is that we just have three chance. We don't have more than that, so we have to
Mhm.
be careful about that too. So I was a little worried, but anyhow, I called Ramneet in December, last December, and we had a conversation, and he was just like, okay, just how many months you have been preparing for. And I was like, it's been a while, 6, 7 months. And he was like, okay, let's get through it. You have been done a lots of things. So I will get connected you to other people, as well as like my the course time period was finished. I have joined PC Final Frontier,
Yeah.
so it was already a year.
Yeah.
But he helped me. He was like, okay, you don't have to pay anything more, because whatever we talk, like if we are telling that we're gonna stick with you until you pass, that means something for us. I was like, it was not a problem, money problem for me, but he was just like, no, you don't have to pay anything extra. And he helped me to get back to the course again. uh, I don't want to mention this, but this is a big thing, for anybody. Money is a money
Of
when you
course.
are in a different country, and it makes for maybe it was not a big thing for me, but maybe for somebody it's a really big thing, and I appreciate that. And
Yeah.
so it took me a little while. Then I started again preparing for my second attempt this year. I started again, like literally in February. I was just still, it took me a while to, just, I had
Yeah.
everything. I was like, I have everything. I don't have to start from scratch at least. I'm
Okay.
at least at 580, right? So
Yeah.
I have to go beyond that. That was in my mind. And I started preparing for my second attempt. So, and that's how I did it. And in July, I went for my second attempt, and now I'm here today. We're talking about
Yeah.
it. So
There you
that was
go.
a good journey.
What would you say? Let me ask you this, like, what was your different preparation on an approach different the second time, what you did not do the first time? Is there anything different that you did the second time?
Yes, I would like to talk about it. I want to help anyone who's gonna watch this, but the important thing is that why should we not do at first attempt, right? We don't, so that we don't have to go for that second attempt. So if somebody can learn from me, when I went for my first attempt, as I told you, I joined Feza, and she
Mm-hmm.
was really amazing. And so I thought, okay, I'm gonna push it to November, and I did that. But the important thing was, like, I think I missed, like, first when I went for my first attempt, I didn't make like one-liners for myself. That was the different thing which I did in my second attempt. I had my, and that was not my first liner, I would say, like how we have studied, everyday Sunday discussions. So I was not
Mm-hmm.
able to attend that. So what I did is, like, okay, I'll go back to Telegram group, and I made my own Word document of those, one-liners. And at the end, I almost had 600 to 700 one-liners. So that helped me a lot.
Wow.
And those are the important things, we miss during while I'm studying. So,
Yeah.
and those are the main important things which you need. So that helped me a lot during my second preparation. Apart from that, while I was doing my mock exams, during my first attempt, I was like solving like 100 questions, and then I was taking a break for 10 minutes, and I did it again. Like, okay, I'll solve 100 again. But during my second attempt, I was like, no, I have to sit there for 4 hours, and that's what my goal is. So, and that's very important. That's what I think. And take your time while you're solving your questions. Don't rush too much. When I went for my first exam, I did my home proctoring. For my second time, I went in person. So that was, it depends however you want to go. But for me, in person was a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
because when you are going and when you're looking at so many people, you get a time to talk to them as well. and you are like not, you are just not the only person, you are giving this exam. So that was a good part. And when you are home, you are like, okay, this will be done, and then I'm going to do this thing or this thing. During my second attempt, I was like, okay, I don't have to look up for 4 hours. This is what I have to do. And that's how I did it. And, like, it sounds a little different, but these are the only things which you have to do for this exam, right? Like studies, we can do it, right? We can
Mm-hmm.
study, everybody study, but there are just little things which we have to do extra.
That makes a
Apart
difference.
from
Yes.
this, yes. And apart from this, like Ravneet's like color coding strategies, like while I was solving my mock exams during my second attempt, that's what I did. I'm like, okay, this is my weak questions. I'm gonna come back and have a look on these ones, and these are my strong things. So those were the strategies which helped me during my second attempt. Apart from that, I would say don't mug up the things. Like, just understand concepts. And that's what I'm not saying it, but of course I have to say it. Like I have studied in India back home. I come from a good institute. My professors were really good. I appreciate them. But
Yeah, I
when
know
I
what you.
joined,
I know
yes,
what you're
but
talking about.
yeah, but when I joined Final Frontier, I had a different perspective of, working in Canadian environment, how what they
Mhm.
need, right? When you come from India, you have different thoughts, how even how you're gonna talk to patient. So
Yes.
those are the things which you have to do differently, if
Mm-hmm.
apart from your studies. And another thing was like sticking to the timetable. During my first attempt, I was going through timetable, but I was kind of scanning things. So I would say don't scan. Just if you are reading, if you are just giving 2 hours, just read it as much as you can, and just don't just scan it. Just give a thorough explanation to things, and basic things. Don't jump to too many, like, okay, we have to, this is our nature, we're gonna think about, okay, there might be some big things. The exam is, if we can talk a little bit about exam is literally like they don't ask you about too much research or like too much things. That's very basic knowledge they want to have. Like if I'm gonna treat somebody, at least I'm gonna not gonna harm them, and at least have a knowledge about everything. So these are the things which I have done differently.
The next question I have for you is that you were working while you were studying and everything. Yeah,
So,
how did
sorry,
you
go ahead.
balance that? Like how did you balance studying, working while like like how did you balance your time between studying and doing something else too? Like
Uh, of course, like I was working full time during my
mm-hmm,
whole journey. I took like 20 days or like 3 weeks off during the end, but during my whole process, I was just working full time. And how I managed, well, I would say like, if you join PC Final Frontier, first thing is we have timetable. So that's the best thing. So you just follow that. I didn't go to any book. I don't have any books. I just have I just did like daily readings from PC Final Frontier. I have my, I never made any notes. I never studied for 5 to 7, 8 hours. I just did like 4 to 5 hours, maybe 3 to 4 hours just study for almost before like just last 3 weeks. I used to study like 6 to 8 hours every day, but before that I just used to do 3 to 4 hours. But apart from that, like if somebody is working at some place and if they can find some extra time during that time, I used to get like maybe an hour and a half while I was working. So what I used to do is like either I will just go through my daily topic, or I'm gonna, if for example Tuesday we used to have classes, so I'm like, okay, I'll do what I'm gonna whatever we have live class today, so I'm gonna do that before going for that live class. So I already did that before. So that's how I
okay.
used to study. So, and
Uh-huh.
apart from that, what I wanted to say to everyone is that before your exam, don't panic. Just keep, like as Ravneet always talks about it, don't study too much before that. And that was the wrong thing which I did during my first exam, I guess. I was just studying ethics until 2 or 3 in the night. And I think I panicked. Somebody, I'm not blaming them, but somebody just told me, oh, just maybe focus on these things a little bit more. And I was like, okay, let me do it. And I was just studying for until 2 or 3 in the morning. And that was the weirdest thing which I did. During my second attempt, I didn't study too much. Maybe I just went through my one liners, or maybe like maybe some values. That's it. I was just giving it easy, and that's what I did.
There
So
you
that's
go.
how I try to manage my time while working.
Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
said you also went like camping, and you did what you enjoyed, like
Yes,
walking, and uh did you do any like sports and
yes.
everything?
I used to work out, but
Yeah,
when you are working full time and while
I know.
studying, so uh, I had time, but that was always it stays all the time in your mind. Like, okay, you have to study. Maybe just study a little bit more now, and maybe you can do this thing later on. So that's why I quit like going to workouts as well. But I kept like, okay, I used to go for walks like every day, and my work was like I used to walk every day 8 miles, 8 kilometers every day at my work, because that
Oh,
was like
that's your walk.
yeah, sixth floor bill. We had sixth floor long-term care home, so I was on every floor. I used to go on every floor. So like that was a long walk for me, but still I used to do like keep myself busy. And yes, if I can talk a little bit, extra strategies. I think we have another question for that,
No,
maybe,
go
but
ahead. Go ahead.
we can
Go
talk
ahead.
about it.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yes. Apart from that, I used to do meditation,
There you go.
because keeping your mind is first I used to think like maybe it's not helpful, but I would say everyone, whoever is going for this exam, just prepare yourself mentally. That's very important. So just give it a try. Maybe you don't like it, or maybe just give it a try. Maybe for 5 6 days, meditation is really good, because that's the main important thing which keeps you calm during your exam. Apart from that, I used to connect with people. That helped me a lot. Like during my first attempt, I had no study partner. Even during my second attempt too, because of my schedule, I was like I like to study at my own time. I was just like
Yeah.
that. So, but everybody has different. It's a good thing to have, I think, a partner. But I was just like that. So during my first attempt, I was not connected to too many people. But during my second attempt, I think I was connected to a lot more people, and I got to learn lots of things, other things. So what I'm gonna say is just connect to as many people as you can. Do what you think, what's good for you. Just pick few good stuff. You don't have to pick everything from everywhere.
If there is one thing about CAPR that you want to change, what would that be? Like, I know it's an out of like the question, but
Of course. If of course, if I would get a chance to change something, but the time taking process, if they can, reduce it to,
everybody says that.
apart from that, like as we talk already about money thing, so when you are from a different country and when you are coming here, it was not a problem for me, but for many people, that's a problem too. If
Yeah.
they can it's just we are talking, if they can reduce it.
What was like your motivation quote, or like a tip that you would give to the students, like the future students that want to prepare for PCA? Like, was there something that there was a quote that you followed, or like a tip that you would give it to them?
Of
Like, what was
course,
it? What were you?
okay, we let's talk about it. I want to talk a little bit more about it, because
Sure.
nobody was there to guide me. So I would
Hmm.
tell anyone, if they are starting to prepare their journey, first thing is, when you are doing starting your credentials, maybe just join Final Frontier, or whatever, look around, whatever you think.
Yeah. Reach out.
I would suggest myself, I would say join Final Frontier. You can't find anyone, better than them. I'm not saying, but it is true for me. That's what I think. So join Final Frontier, because you and set a goal for yourself, like where you are going. If you don't have your destination, you're gonna land nowhere, right? So just set a goal for yourself and start preparing while the credential process. Don't wait that, okay, I'm first I let it be done, because anyways, right, if you're going to start after 6 months or maybe 4 months, you have to start one day, so why not today, right? So just get connected to somebody. And apart from that, if you are connecting, like if you are going through Final Frontier, it's just not just about you will get some learning things and stuff like that, because after that you're going to connect to other peoples as well, like fellow physios who are doing that. Because just if I'm just preparing myself, you are just having your own knowledge and you're just in your own future. It's just your own world. But if you are just connected to other people, you will get to learn more things about it. So that's the best part. So start as early as possible and don't stress yourself. Just you don't have to do too much, just 3 and 4, or 4 hours, or everyone has different way of learning.
Mm-hmm.
So just make a timetable. We already have a timetable at Final Frontier. So even you don't need one, right? But still, if you want to schedule your time according to you, you can do that. And with all those things, this is everybody does all these things. There are other things like keeping yourself motivated. That comes from like affirmations. Everybody, these rich people, or successful people, they
Yeah, let's call
they
that.
do these little things differently from a normal person, like doing meditation, like having your own list of goals. Just, okay, what I'm going, this is what I have done. I used to know, I'm sitting here today. uh, I never thought about it, but anyhow, I have thought some of coming to Canada, or I always have my goals written
Dream,
everywhere.
vision. Yes.
Even if you see my wall, so
Mhm.
these are all. It's not, I don't want to just talk about just one thing, like there's any quote, but what I think is just like dream. You don't have to pay for dreaming, right? And just keep dreaming, because if you gonna not think like, okay, what I'm gonna do tomorrow, then you don't know. That will be then, okay, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning, and I don't know where I'm going. So just have that habit of keeping yourself on time. Apart from that, if read every day, no matter what. If sometimes you don't have time, but even if you're reading for half an hour, like these days, we have social media, we have chat gpt, or anywhere you can just google it. Okay, this is my topic for today. If you're spending 15 minutes, and at least you are having some knowledge about the topic. So just use your social media or your resources effectively. That's what
Yeah.
I can say. And apart from this, healthy eating and just repeat doing prayers, and self belief is, because even before when you are sitting for your exam, the exam day, and before it starts, still you're gonna think, okay, I don't know anything, no matter what, how much you read. But still that gonna come to your mind that I don't know anything. Just go for the exam, just don't think about it. Everybody have these feelings of, they don't even, before starting our meeting, I don't know what I'm going to speak today. But this is what we have to do, a little bit different from a normal
Yeah.
person. And these are the all things which I did, and talk to as many people as you can, whenever you need help, even mentally, or just about anything. If you want to talk, just talk to anyone. Your families, my family was a big support to me. I talk to them every day. They don't know anything what I'm doing. They don't have much knowledge about here, what goes in here. But at least they
Yeah.
know what I'm doing, and they are always supportive to me. That's the main important thing.
This is really inspiring. I really appreciate that you shared
Oh
your
no,
journey. Your journey is really, really helpful. Like, trying it, not giving up, preparing, believing in yourself. And that's what you did. You believed in yourself and everything too. So that really
Yes.
helps. Thank you for joining today. Reach out to us at support@pceff.com for any questions. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for more content. Have a wonderful week and keep learning.